Alright, we're back again in the woods,
Yeah, deep woods.
deep nature of Chiang Mai,
Yeah,
Thailand.
some random mountain in Chiang
Yeah,
Mai.
an interesting little place. There's some people walking up there.
Wow. Guess we
Well,
have to escape furthermore to escape the people.
yeah, we need to find deep, deep nature where there's just nothing but you
Yeah.
and the birds and the cicadas and the insects and stuff. Yeah. Ah, there's some tourists.
Oh,
That's crazy.
brilliant.
Yeah. They found us, but they must be walking up to the monastery.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
With the dogs.
Yeah. There's a monastery up there. The mountain which is with about, I don't know, 20, 30 dogs. They just came in out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It was empty, and then suddenly just these dogs just start spawning in out of nowhere.
It was pretty crazy.
It was like sort of a little prank from the universe, when that sort of
It
happened.
wasn't funny.
Yeah, the first you see the first few dogs, and they're like, oh, this is cute, and
And then
like
there's a
five more
bunch of
emerge, and
dogs.
then 10 more emerge, and then another 10,
Wow,
and
dogs.
you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's pretty
But they were
crazy.
funny. They were cute.
Mm.
They were cute. But yeah, let's actually talk about what we're meant to talk about. Then.
I think we're meant to talk about it all, really.
Yeah, there's a flower touching your leg.
Oh, it's so sweet. Yeah, that happens. It's very
Mm.
sweet. I want to talk more about butterflies and these different beings that interact with you when you're in nature. I'm getting more channelings about winged creatures specifically. I think some of us haven't even ever seen a butterfly, and that's pretty sad.
Really?
Um, yeah, because many people in cities don't come
Mm.
across butterflies.
That's true.
But when you're in nature and you happen to see one, luckily, it's just a beautiful experience because it's like butterflies are symbolically the higher frequency beings like fae and more kind of like it's a symbol for a higher density being visiting you. And if you make contact, conscious contact with the butterfly, you may notice that the butterfly may even actually sit on you or get more closer to you to initiate more contact. That's happened to you.
I get a lot of flies landing on me too.
Yeah,
What does
well,
that
it's all
mean?
anything
Yeah,
winged is all part of it.
yeah.
But yeah, but butterflies in specific, I think,
Mm.
are spiritual messengers, just like all the other animals and spirit beings and stuff like that. But I think it's very important to notice spiritual unseen activity around you, like how dogs can sense out if the person is good or weird or they have this ability. I think birds, butterflies, bees, insects also have that same intuition running through them. It's just that we have a bias more towards dogs and less for insects and bees and stuff like that because we've been given a bad rep about them stinging
Mm.
us and stuff like that. But I think it's very important to notice all of nature in its authenticity and just witness what that feels like for you.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
think what's
there's
coming
a
up,
bee right here.
what's coming up for me is the importance of teaching children what nature is, how to relate with nature, and also not to be scared of nature. Um, it's very important when they're young, because that's the time when you can say, you know, amazingly open up a kid to the world, or you can really shut them off from the world by, say, traumatizing them, indoctrinating them, installing their minds with these beliefs which are very difficult to shake off. And I think for people who are older, uh, regardless of what our preconceptions of nature are or what experience we have with nature, um, if we can just open up to the experience itself, if we can, which might be uncomfortable for some people if they're not used to being in the silence of a forest.
Oh yeah, that definitely scares away a lot of people.
Yeah, because and it's And this is just because in their particular life they followed a different path. We have a lot of deep ancestral DNA, which is, literally designed to come alive when you're in deep nature. We have deep instincts of foraging, for hunting, for just really calming down, um, calming our nervous system when we are in nature. Like, it's being in the city, being in a very hyper stimulated digital environment, which is the unnatural environment. It's a strange inversion that sort of happened, that you have to seek out nature rather than being already within nature. And yeah, I think people have to trust that um, there's a lot of wonder already in the natural world, and but you have to have eyes to see it. I think people are blind in a certain way to the nature spirits, to these elementals, and we have to understand, why are people blind in the first place? What is the
There's
the
ant on our screen, but
yeah, I saw that something just moved
yeah,
across.
yeah.
But that's, I mean, that's a crazy thing that happens. I mean, the
The
longer
ants
you're,
want to say hi.
yeah, they want to say hi. They're involved in this video, and yeah, when you sit long enough in nature, yeah, you have all sorts of
They
critters, and
hijack your camera and
they
stuff.
hijack the camera, they land on you because they're curious about you.
They're like nature puppies.
And a lot, yeah, nature puppies.
Yeah.
But and but it's interesting, we can have that relationship with such insects. If someone was very scared of ants, or scared of flies or butterflies or anything that isn't human, or even spiders, a lot of people are scared of spiders and stuff. Um, if you really inquire into that fear, where did you get that fear from?
Yeah.
Um,
Because like all fear, the root of fear is that it's just unnaturally created by your mind. It's
mm,
kind of like the mind can heal the mind. So
yeah,
if the mind has the capacity to create fear, the mind also has the capacity to shatter the fear or shatter the illusion as well. So I think people should trust their ability to for getting over fear as well, because that's also very possible.
yeah, and I think that ties me into the whole healing point, something that I've been talking about a lot recently,
Yeah.
about using the mind to heal the mind, which, to take that a step further, if you understand, one of the most important Hermetic principles, the idea that everything is mind, or everything is the universal mind playing itself out, exploring itself. And that means that there's not really a difference between the mind and the body.
No.
It's the same thing. It's the same vibration. It's the same buzz. Yes, the mind. There are different patterns within the mind, as compared, say, the pattern of your body, but it is all a pattern within experience,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. And so, I think a lot of people get very confused when they think about, how does the mind heal the body? Aren't they two different things? Well, and if they're two different things, how does one different thing change something that's different? But that's an illusion. It's an illusion that they're different. They're the same, and you can heal them because they are the same. There's a channel of communication and stuff.
That's why in Chinese medicine, I think they say that disease or dis-ease, not being at ease, is created from your mind first. Your mind is the fertile ground for where diseases or harmony can breed itself into existence.
Mm.
So
And
it's
it's
your mind that is probably causing psychosomatic symptoms first, then it manifests into your body. It's kind of
yeah,
like being a pilot, and your mind is the pilot, right? And your body is the airplane. If you really look at it, it's one and the same thing,
mm,
because you're like the driving force of your body.
yeah, and like if we really connect with our experience, we can see things or problems or traumas before they really develop into a
Into
trauma in the
form.
body, into a
Yeah.
form. We can see the what lies behind the formation of a disease if we tap ourselves in, and then we can heal it at that earlier stage before it sort of metasizes or grows into a something that's more difficult, something that actually makes you sick and stuff. And that's one aspect. One thing I wanted to pull us into is the nature of how healing spirits within nature can assist your healing when
Oh
you're,
yeah.
yeah. And I think that's a very foreign thing again to our sort of modern mind. It's a weird thing because people are used to medicine coming in a pill form. They can't imagine what it would be like. Why? How? What's the mechanism behind, say, being in nature and somehow feeling better? You
Hmm.
know. But then, as I've sort of discovered through researching more about shamanism, people who use the spirits of nature, they invoke them, they communicate with them in order to deliver healing in a particular person. That's something I found very. It's a new worldview, or very old ancient worldview that yes, it's alternative. It's different to the mainstream or whatever, but it's primordial. It occurs in every single different human culture and civilization for thousands of years. And I think it's very disappointing that our culture it will it will separate itself off from the past and dismiss all the past as pseudoscience or something and say it's not real or it's just placebo effect. But I think it's because our current culture they don't have the theoretical framework to understand these different dimensions or different energies or we're very cut off from nature.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I just wanted to ask you a bit about how we can use nature spirits for healing. you know
I think it's like befriending a dog.
mm,
In the simplest way to put it, it's like you have to be comfortable with feeling things in your body. For example, because the plants, spirits, or the fae don't always communicate in thought form, they can communicate in bodily sensations. So that means that your body has to be really receptive or aware. You have to have a certain level of awareness that you can use to communicate with them. So I feel the first way to start off that connection is by a simple offering. Um, Something small like a leaf or a flower or anything that is given to the spirit with pure intention and just a clear intention to connect and ask for its guidance and assistance in the healing. And then from there, I think it's just a path of witnessing, of pure witnessing of how the spirit comes in and does the healing. Because spirits, plant spirits, can be very, very, very different if you haven't worked with them. But if you've had ayahuasca and other plant medicines, I feel that people on that collective will understand what I'm talking about. You will just see the fractals coming into form. It's like seeing that certain leaves are forming a geometric pattern around you or around the person that you're trying to heal, or you start feeling like the spirit is working with you, or you start feeling their presence around the person in a non malicious way, in a helpful, pure light kind of a way. Because I think it's very important to include discernment as well, because there can be a lot of trickster spirit energies that pretend to be of the light but really aren't of the light.
yeah.
But that's what you need before you call them in from the plant or the trees. You need to place a strong intention saying that I want a spirit, a plant spirit that will really, really help me in the purest form and is off the light. Once you make that intention very clear, it will be a light, helping being that comes forth. And you can also have a relationship with them where it's kind of like they recognize you and you recognize them and you both work in harmony. You
Mm,
can learn many things from the spirits as well. That's what I have experienced. They teach me a lot, especially plant spirits, not in words, but like I said, in bodily sensations. And sometimes, you can go to a forest, come back home, and feel really sleepy. And then it's kind of like your body is shut down, so the plant spirits can kind of give you the knowledge. It's like downloading knowledge from your sleep state and waking up with a knowing that comes from an astral realm or a thinner side of the will. So if you ever notice yourself getting drowsy in a forest or a nature area, it's most likely because the spirits kind of want to access connecting to you without your logical mind interfering. So they kind of put you in like a CBD relaxed state, or you just start feeling very, very sleepy and at ease. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's all kinds of things to learn once you're down this path. So yeah,
Mm, yeah, the plants are there to act as medicines, and in our current paradigm of medical understanding, we've dissociated from a lot of this wisdom, that stretches far back into the traditions of shamanism, the tradition of simply being with nature and trying to understand the patterns of nature and how we can connect with the patterns. We find, a particular plant that's good for pain killing properties. We find a particular plant that's good to stimulate and wake you up. We find another plant that heals this, is a remedy for this or that. It wakes you up, sleep, slows you down, or something, a plant that gives you visionary sort of experiences. Plants in nature, they, when you enter a relationship with them, they can provide a vast variety of different effects, and I find that a an amazing sort of thing as well when you seriously consider that we don't know everything about plants or plant consciousness, and we perhaps will never know fully um, about what they are, but we can still connect with them. And when we connect with them, we are sort of connecting with something that is deep within us, but it's become forgotten in this sort of age. But the wisdom is, obviously being, you know, remembered, because you can't fully forget it, obviously. Um,
and our job currently in all incarnations is just to remember that which we already know.
mm,
It's just like a sleeping information, and you just have to wake it up. It's like waking up from inside the dream, but the dream is your reality.
yeah,
Um,
and I think
yeah,
it's a beautiful place to sign off.
yeah.
Okay, all right. Hope that's been interesting, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, morning, night, whatever time it is. Anyways.